more openings occur, I think we could come back and lift the freeze because it's a public safety issue. I'm comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you know, the police are down 4 or 5. 4, fire's down 3. Public Works is down, I think, 5. 5 within the last year, and 13 from 1990, I think we went back to. So when you have less people, less things are going to happen.
When you have less people, you also have more overtime. I mean, we found ourselves in this position before.
People want things done. They want things done. They want. But there's just no money to give.
I think it should be, like you said, Phil, until we find out what the numbers are.
Well, I think at least until we find out what 2010 is going to have in store for us. The problem is, too, that, as you know, Jim, if the 4% levy cap is imposed strictly, there may not be sufficient funds to fund what is presently in place.
I never get hit with all these phony lawsuits. So, that doesn't help me.
Yeah.
So we'll do our part.
Well, I would, at any other time, Mayor, I would agree more with Councilman Murray, but I think these times we have to do that for now, like you said, and wait until we see where we're going with the 2010 budget and what loopholes are going to be tightened up by the governor. Just going over last year's budget, I didn't see any loopholes at all because we barely made it with the levy cap that was last year. I don't know how we're going to do it this year, let alone those communities that decided to withhold the pension payments and defer it until this coming 2010 budget, which was the outlying townships and including the city of Atlantic City. I can understand that she's concerned in Public Works. I'm in Public Safety 35 years as Councilman Benatti. Police and Fire Department is represented here. I know what it's like to run understaffed and undermanned. These are critical times, and these critical times are going to mean that we take some critical measures until such time we know where we're going with the budget. With all that being said, it's even more important now that you understand the value of us owning our golf course, because in about 8 years we're going to own it, and that's going to be probably our only other source of revenue that we can actually depend on. So it's imperative for us to make sure that golf course is a success year after year after year, and we have to do what we have to do to make sure that it is. That's our only other source of revenue. We have no industry or businesses knocking down our doors. We have no place to put industry to begin with. Most of our income is from property taxes, so it's important, it's critical that we make sure that golf course is a success. With that being said, Mayor, I would tend to agree with you this evening.
I want to also mention that both chiefs have applied for grant funding. There may be federal dollars available for public safety. And if, in fact, the grant funding were to come through, I think that we would need to obviously lift any freeze that's in place and hire those officials, those officers or firefighters under the grant. I'm not sure how long that process is going to take, but we will get more information. I would say over the next 3 months, we'll have a pretty good idea of where we're going in 2010.
If need to see or to compare what we're talking about, I know Atlantic City, and I don't mean to be speaking for the mayor, I know they're going to be facing some critical times and critical decisions in this upcoming budget. And I can almost guarantee you that the public safety departments are going to take a major hit. And there's all kinds of rumors swirling around that we'll be seeing some closing of a company feeding about 25 firefighters over the 4 shifts. He's going to have to do some drastic measures, and he's been very, very quiet up to this point, probably because he's trying to minimize the pain, and there will be some pain coming, so watch and see what happens in these surrounding communities that decided to defer their pension payments, and we didn't.
Jim?
I think in a discussion we had the last council meeting, the council, and I don't know if you have made this public or not, but you had indicated you will take a 5% decrease in your salaries.
Yes, council has indicated they'll take a 5% cut in salary as you plan next year's budget.
And as of today, we made those cuts. So I hope you're still saying that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Here's your ambulance.
And the other thing, you're going to see us increase with the non-union people, and we're going to negotiate this with all the union people. There will be an increase in what you contribute towards health care.
Okay.
At this point, and I guess we need a motion to impose a hiring freeze until the 2010 budget is, you want to say, adopted or struck? Because there is, as you know, there could be a long time lag between the time we actually create a budget and the state finally adopts it. Or are you afraid that things can change right up to the time that they allow us to adopt, rather, I should say?
You know, Mayor, you've been through this long enough, and all of council's been through this long enough. We'll be meeting over the next several months, and we'll have more information as we go along. And I think once we see where we are budget-wise, we can make that decision.
Should also be made clear in the resolution, I know Mr. McGuire memorialized this at the next meeting, that if public safety is in any way jeopardized, that the city manager has the discretion to hire the individuals to fill those positions if need be.
Mayor, I just want to make my point clear. I met with the union heads of the fire department over the summer, and they brought to light what the shortages could do on the fire safety on the island, and that's why I was concerned with having any kind of freeze when they're already 3 men short right now.
And I understand that, Councilman Ray. I appreciate where you are with that, and I think we need to be aware that if in fact that happens, the city manager would have the discretion, if public safety is in any way jeopardized, to do what you need to do. And Tim, in that resolution, you'll exempt the position in the tax assessor's office. We'll actually save